Hello, I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, the expert plumber, coming to you right here on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else that we're at. So this is the Plumbing Live Q&A with Roger Wakefield. Yes, that's me. If you want to learn plumbing by receiving the best information, if you believe your opinion matters and you want it to be heard, if you really have a love for getting into and better at the trades, and you want to have a freaking awesome time learning and contributing, well, I think you're going to like your opinion here, where the information and the facts, it all comes together. We want to hear your opinion. We love when you get to listen to others. And it's not just mine, it's a lot of good people that we have in here. You get the data that you need. You get the truth. You get it honestly. And you know what? We're not going to BS anybody back and forth. Man, we already got people. We got chats. We got comment going on. Life is wonderful. So first of all, the first one I saw over here on the live stream is Colton. Happy Monday to you. And it did not show up over here on my restream, so I'm not sure what's up. But let's start up at the top, Architectural Sheet Metal 101, and we're live. Happy Monday to you, brother. Ron Lovell, good to see you in here as always. Sky Husky 777. It's the second week of Plumbing Academy, and I'm really loving it and having a blast. So do me a favor, put a comment in here and tell me, man, what Plumbing Academy are you in? Where's it at? What can you tell me about it? Very interested. I have people send me messages all the time saying, look, I want to find out more about going to school to learn plumbing. And I don't know a lot of plumbing schools really that do a great job. So tell me about the academy. I'm very interested in what you're doing, where it is. Matthew Anderson says just got into the Minneapolis Plumbers Union. Number one, congratulations to you. Does your union teach residential? Does it teach service? I was part of the Local 100 here in Dallas, Texas. I was actually an instructor there. I spent many years in residential, then commercial, service and new construction. But my union didn't teach residential. So when I got out and started doing residential and running a company like that, man, it's kind of tough. Mr. Rich Micaiah, how are you? Good to see you over on this side of the world. And I'm checking my phone here to make sure I got everything turned off because I'm already getting phone calls. So number one, I hope you're getting something out of this. I appreciate it. Abdul Kayumi says, hey, Roger, I got a question. Have you ever fired or let go of anyone? Absolutely. I only let people go for either refusing to work or not doing what they're asked to do. I mean, we've got rules and regulations. We have expectations. And when we spend a lot of money advertising and then we send out plumbers that don't do what they're supposed to do, we have to make a decision. We try to coach them. If that doesn't work, then we coach them out the door. And that's really the best way to put it. Architectural Sheet Metal 101. Guys, if there's another channel out there where you can go and learn roofing, metal roofing, you need to go check out Architectural Sheet Metal 101. It says, hey, Roger, you should have a cameraman follow you in from the green room while your intro plays, kind of like a Saturday Night Live introduction. Well, you know what? Colton, my cameraman, is in here. At least I say he is. I saw a comment over here earlier. Not sure if there's one over here. So we're going to try the music thing again. Got to let y'all know that. I see Sean Strong in here. I'm going to wait on him and make sure. So first of all, I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to hit the music. I got a little jams going, and I can't hear it, so I can't even tell you what it's like. So I'm gonna bump it up right there. Tell me, is the music too loud? If and man, I can see the comments over here. I got about 50 something people in here right now. Do me a favor, leave me a comment in here and say music's good, music's too loud. I like the music. I don't like the music. Loud or not loud? Loud or too loud? Too loud or not loud enough? Jeffrey Boy Ultimate 632 says hello. How are you? Preston Desmarias. Roger, I'd leave M&A and move to Texas in a heartbeat. Oh, MA. I tell you what, I don't know where you're at, if you're a plumber, if you're an apprentice or what, if you're an HVAC technician. I've got HVAC tech roofers, all kinds of people in here. Music's fine. Music's unsettling. Okay, so I got an unsettling already. So I'm going to change music, and I just want to know what you think. Is this music any better? Sean Strong says, leave a thumbs up if you like the music. Well, number one, no, because then they're going to leave a thumbs down if they don't, and that's gonna tell YouTube something not good. Uh, if you like what's in here, if you don't, no. Oh, there you go. Okay, I like that. If you like the music, leave a thumbs up. If you don't like the music, leave a thumbs up. We'll figure it out later. So anyway, Preston, look, I don't know if you're a plumber, an apprentice, an HVAC tech, what it is, but look, man, Rescue Air, Texas Green Plumbing, we're constantly looking for people. So I would say call in, talk to Amber, and find out, man, there may be a position here. BS93 says, do you think a homeowner should attempt to move a toilet within a bathroom themselves? Man, that's a tough one because, number one, here in Texas, you as a homeowner, if it is legally classified as your homestead, you're legally allowed to do anything in plumbing that I can do. But you've also got to do the same thing that I do. You've got to pull permits. You got to get it inspected. You got to do it right. Is it possible? Absolutely. How far are you talking about moving it? And what you may do is you may take some pictures or video, put it over in our subreddit, and that's at Roger Wakefield Posts. Man, you'll get a lot of comments over there as to, hey, look, this is how you can do it. This is what you can do. We've got a lot of great plumbers in there that give a lot of great information. So I would say it may be something we're checking out. What did I put up? Oh, there we go. Architectural Sheet Metal says the Roof Plumbing Academy. There we go. That's what it's all about. Sky Husky 777 says Michael and Son Services in Richmond, Virginia. What's your opinion on push connection fittings, Jason Rudder? People ask me this a lot, and it's funny because when people meet me, if they've seen my videos, but they can't remember my name, they'll look at me, they're like, I know you. They're like, oh my God, you're the no shark bite guy. And let me tell you, I don't have a problem with push together fittings. I think that there's a need for them. I think there's a place for them. Here's my thought. Sooner or later, somebody's going to develop one that works. Sooner or later, somebody's going to develop one that does not have a lot of leaks. All I can say is I have had to go out and fix a lot of shark bite fitting leaks. And I'm not saying that bad against shark bite. I'm just saying, man, it's fact. And it's funny because I saw a picture on Instagram or something earlier today where somebody had done a repair. It was a TikTok repair. Somebody had cut out an old gate valve, put in a ball valve, and somebody replied, soldering. It'll leak before long. And I'm thinking, oh my God, do you really think that? Andrew Anderson says, yeah, they do. So Jason, back to you. Look, I think push together fittings, there's a place for them. And look, I've been asking Sean Strong about a push together fitting, and he gave me some names of some different things. So, I'm not saying no to push together fitting. I'm saying so far I have not seen one or it been proven to me that there's one out there that I think is really phenomenal. But man, I'm up to learn, up to figure it out. Okay, Matthew says yes, they do. I love that. And Matthew, what I'll tell you is, look, if you ever want to open your own company one day, try to go the residential route. I think you'll love it and have a great opportunity. Sky Husky says, I'm training as a residential service tech. And that's the heroes. That's the people that really get to take care of people. So I love that. Sean Strong, yes, it is not just Monday, it is Easter Monday. The Monday after Easter, I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter weekend, got to see family, got to go to church, got to do all the fun stuff that they do. I am checking on everything, like my video, my quality is good. I love it. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, so we are looking good. Loved Friday's video with the pipe fittings. Look, I get to have fun. I tell you, I don't know if y'all figured that out yet or not. I love what I do. I get to have a good time doing it. And to me, this is the coolest thing. This is the coolest job I could have ever imagined. I get to talk to people about plumbing. I get to help them with plumbing. I get to do a bunch of stuff. So I love what I get to do. Thank y'all for that, because what y'all do by showing up here, by giving me thumbs up, it helps. I've got 60 people in here and 18 thumbs up, so I'm not doing something very good. Uh, what I will say is that, and if y'all ever learned anything from me, if you've ever got value out of this, man, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, say, oh my gosh, here's what I've learned, here's how it is. I'm working on some things, so I'm going to be reaching out to people and say, look, if you've got value for me, I'd like to know what you learned, what you were taught. I can use it for marketing, so I appreciate that. Blake Williams says, just wanted to say thank you for all your cool videos and information for us plumbing, all the way from South Georgia. Well, number one, thank you all the way to South Georgia. I'm actually headed back to Georgia here pretty soon. I've got to go back, I think, to Alpharetta. I'm going to try and go see a buddy of mine down in Savannah when I'm there. So good to see you in here. Cisco Javier Franco says, Jacob Huerta. Jacob, how are you? Dre Medic says, hello, Roger. Hope you and your family had a great Easter. Man, Easter's wonderful. Number one, I am a Christian. I believe. So, Easter weekend is really, it's a neat deal. So if you believe, happy Easter to you. If you don't, man, I'm sorry. Look, we've all got our own beliefs and thoughts, and you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. But I know it's not politically correct for me to tell you, but look, I am. I'm a believer. Luis Magana says, have you guys been having to run 3-compartment sink drains individually now? Yes, we don't do a lot of commercial, but I've heard a lot of that going on here lately, so absolutely. Well, you put it so good. Twin City Treasure says, in my opinion, most people fire themselves. And that's a good way to look at it, because you're right. I've never really just fired anybody. I've had people promote themselves to customer, meaning they did not want to work here anymore. So that's exactly what they did. And I don't know, I didn't see a lot of comments, but tell me this, do y'all like this music? I see one over here says music's fine. Okay, I think that's the one I saw over here earlier. I'm trying to watch it live, and I'm trying to do the comments that I can communicate with. Make a rocket water heater and fly it for the fans. Put it in a mock-up house. Man, I don't have a mock-up house, and man, I don't have the finances and all that some of those people on TV do. My thing is, I would love to. Number one, I got to get somebody to give me a water heater, because nobody wants their water heater to be the one that you blow up and make explode like that. But there's so many cool things that I'm working on right now that I want to do, and I can do, and I've got the stuff to do. Tell me this, those of y'all that have been watching the stuff that we do lately, what do y'all think of the slow motion camera, or have you even noticed it? We invested in a very, very, very expensive slow motion camera. And literally, most people that do slow motion slow it down to about 120 frames a second. If I'm not right, if I'm right, Colton, if it's more than that, tell me. But I think about 120 is about good high definition slow motion. So I found a camera that we could do 1,000 frames a second in high definition. That is about as slow as you can get and be that good of quality. So if you've seen it, if you like it, do me a favor, just say love the slow-mo, or just put slow-mo. Do that. Let me know if you like it. If you don't or you haven't noticed it, I'll have to work on it. Music's fine and unsettling all at the same time. Thank you very much. Like I said, we get to have fun here. We get to mess up a lot of people. Dexter Bernard says, hey, what's up, Roger? Checking in from the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. I missed some lives because of the time zone. It's 5:30 p.m. over here. Well, man, wait, it's 5:30 p.m. You probably did that 45 minutes. No. Okay, coming up on. Well, it's 4:30 p.m. here, so we're not far off. Right? 5:30 p.m. Okay. In the Caribbean. So you're just a whole lot further south of me. A little bit to the east. John Strong says, leave a thumbs up if you like the music, and if you don't like the music, leave a thumbs up. Don't want to mess anybody up. Music's okay. So y'all like the blue music, which that's just the color button I have, but you did not like the green. So I'm just trying to make sure. I'm in a shithole they call Washington State. I love Texas. Man, I've actually been up to Washington State, just a little southeast of Seattle. Man, I thought it was beautiful up there. Went to a great restaurant up on a marina up towards Seattle. It was fantastic. Loved it. Dude E, what's going on? Long time no watch. Well, man, we can fix that. Just come back and visit. Blake Williams in the house. Josh Tradlock. Hourly or commission, which is better in your opinion for the plumber and for the customer? I think if you've got honest plumbers, either one can be good for the customer because it should cost them about the same. But one thing I'll tell you, Josh, is I think that commission or incentive pay is good for the plumber if they're an honest plumber. If they're not an honest plumber and they start ripping people off, man, it's going to haunt them forever. Because one day you're going to rip somebody off, and then you're going to find out they filed bankruptcy, they committed suicide because they were losing everything. Something bad's going to happen, and some bad plumber's going to have to live with that forever. Man, I think as long as you treat people amazing every time, you're honest with them, you give them options. Yeah, Colton says slow-mo looks amazing. I completely agree. All right, Roger, how's your day going? TJ Comstock, it is going fantastic. Jonathan Roberts says, hi there, Roger. I wanted to ask you what you get more calls for. You know, it's probably stopped up clogs. It's probably clogs or leaks. That's a big deal. Now, we specialize in slab leaks and leak detection, so that's one we get a lot of calls for too. Pretty cool. Architectural Sheet Metal says, my dad is a retired plumber who really specialized in hydraulics, working on hoists for streetcar and city buses. Is this common for a plumber? You know, it's common for somebody that understands the hydronics, the plumbing end of it. It's not really what plumbers work on. Normally, that would be a specialist, like a maintenance man that focuses on something like that, or somebody who just went to focus on that, and now that's all they do is hydronics. Blake Williams is replying to Josh Tadlock. I agree with this question. I would like your feedback, Roger. Which question? Because I don't know which one you're talking about. And I'm not going to be able to scroll all the way up. Hourly or commission. Okay, yeah, I get that. Look, guys, here's the deal. If I'm a plumber, if I'm a good plumber and I'm a hard worker, I want to work commission or incentive pay because I can make as much money as I want to. If I want to work 10 hours a day and knock out, 4 water heaters a day and make a couple of grand, man, why not? Why not make $2,000 a day? I mean, some plumbers out there don't make $2,000 a week. Think about it. If you work for a company that say it's, and I'm just throwing a number out there, say it's $2,500 for a water heater. That's a water heater, your upgrades, whatever it is. It's a $2,500 total sale. And your crew, you and somebody else can do 4 of those a day. And you're on a 20% incentive pay. That's a $10,000 day at 20%. There's $2,000. Now you're going to get 70, 80%, depending on your apprentice, what y'all kind of deal y'all have set up, or do you do it all by yourself? The different ways to look at it. Abdul Kayumi says, hey, Roger, would you ever move out of Texas? Why? I mean, no. Now, I love Texas. Texas, there's something about Texas. When you're born here, you're just like, man, look, yeah, I'm good. And the funny thing is, Abdul, I've never had a desire to move anywhere else. Rich Mackay, most of what do is HVAC. And it's funny because if most of what you do is HVAC, really most of what you do is electrical work. Uh, look, I went and studied. I got my HVAC certification in Texas. I'm actually a certified HVAC technician. I've just never done it. I'm not out in the field on a residential deal like that. The reason I was able to get it is because of my work in a union. I worked on some very big jobs in town running chill water, heating water, PC water, process cooling. Uh, so, man, I'm familiar with all of it. But I love HVAC. But what I figured out going to school is about 90% electrical. Skyhusk777 Skyhusky777. Michael & Sons in Richmond, Virginia has their own plumbing academy on property with 6-story dorm with 20 rooms. Cool deal. Preston Desmarius says, Roger, we have talked in the past. I recognize that. I was going through a court case and now I'm on probation. Will I be able to get an apprentice license? I have been in the trades for 5 years. Very good plumber, or should I have my own? I should have my own company. Preston, here's what I tell you: is depending on what you're on probation for. Number one, if you're on probation, I don't know if that's deferred adjudication where that'll go away or anything like that. In Texas, and I'm not sure where you're at. In Texas, if you committed, even if you did, but the reason you could lose your license is for committing a crime of moral turpitude. Did you hurt someone? So anyway, that's something worth thinking about. If you just did some weed, you got caught doing something you shouldn't have done, but you didn't hurt anybody, chances are you'll be okay. I would reach out to the authority having the AHJ, the authority having jurisdiction, talk to them, and see what your possibilities are. A lot of people, though, even though they do get in trouble for the crime of moral turpitude, they can literally go ahead and get their license. They can have their church, their friends, their employer. They can have people writing letters say, look, Roger may have really screwed up, but you know what? He's a good person now. And he shows it every week. So, and don't ever let something in your past keep you from moving forward in your future. Dave Smith says, if I can get a green card, I'll fly to Texas tomorrow. You know what? People are getting green cards all the time. Rich Mackay says it goes hand in hand with plumbing. Yes, it does. TJ Comstock replying to Josh, I vote commission for both. Yes, indeed. Preston again says, furthermore, I am definitely looking to move down south where you make the plumber money, but you aren't paying Massachusetts prices. Hey, Texas, look, things aren't completely cheap down here, but they're not bad. I filled up my truck the other day. I have diesel in it, filled it up for $160, which is nice because the last 2 times I've tried to fill it up, the pump shut off before then. I guess that's our savings plan. Abdul says, what do you prefer, PEX or sweating copper? I prefer sweating copper because I'm old school. But to be honest, if I had to go PEX or something like that, I would come up to Uponor. I like the expand fittings because the fitting itself has no flow reduction. Jason Rudder says, okay, haven't watched the channel enough yet. Thanks. No, thank you. Dave Smith says, John Guest Speed Fit are the bus potch fit pipe system are the best push fit pipe systems. Okay. John Guest, hadn't heard of it. PEX all day. John Guest there. Tyler Post says, how should you handle a stranger who asks for side work when you're on a job site and he gets confrontational when you say no? Well, number one, you handled it well. Call your employer. Say, hey, look, just going to let you know, man, this guy's asking me to do side work, and I told him no. He's not real happy about it. Y'all want to call and talk to him? But when I'm talking to a customer, I say, sir, look, number one, I don't have insurance. Number two, if I got caught doing that, it could cost me my plumbing license. And I mean, it's not worth it to me and my family. And normally when you put it that way, you let them know, look, I'm just trying to do the right thing. You'll normally be okay. Diddy says apartment repairs, they come in handy. Look, I'm not saying push fittings don't have a place. I used to have them on a job box out at the airport. We use them for emergency fittings. I think push fittings, if they could fix push fittings where they don't leak, like the shark basket that we're out fixing all the time, man, I'd say, look, I'm all on board. Mr. Gamer says, what's your opinion on stationary engineering? Uh, Look, I think any engineering is good. If any engineering that you have to study for, you have to learn for. I wanted to become a mechanical engineer. I should have, but I got into plumbing and just fell in love. So I'm like, man, I ain't going to college for anything. I like this. So if you're an engineer of any kind, trust me, you're doing something right. Ninja Schumer says, Roger, I started a new career in plumbing late in life. Just wanted you to know I've learned so much from you and your channel. I appreciate you and what you do. That's a mic drop moment. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to get out of here. I want to say thank y'all very much. It's been a wonderful night. Ninja Schumer, thank you very much. Rob Stone says, only if you suck at sweating. I like that. Only if you suck at sweating. But I work for Culligan Water Softeners, and we use MIT Quick Fittings. We never have issues. People have these systems for 20 years. And if I'm not mistaken, Rob, the push fittings that Culligan uses, they're the little plastic ones on plastic tubing and stuff like that. And I believe they've also got the insert fitting. So, look, I'm not saying guys are never going to be around. I'm not saying they won't work great. I have people send me messages all the time. Well, that's what they use on the NASA spaceship, so it must be amazing. Yeah, they also use a toilet that sucks crap out of you and puts it in a bag. Doesn't mean I want it in my house, but when you're up in space, you got to do what you got to do. So Thomas Constock says, "Hey Roger, how are you today? We are lovely over here in Richmond, Virginia. TJ with Triangle Plumbing Services." Well, TJ, number one, hello from Richmond. I may be going out to Alexandria here before long. I've heard it's beautiful out there and can't wait to get out there and see it. Dave Smith says, yeah, piece of cake. Oh, Nightbot. I don't know what you did, but Nightbot don't like you right now. Josh Tradlock says, hey, Roger, what's best in your opinion for the plumber? Okay, we already talked about that one. Rich Mackay says, replying to Preston, also may most likely end up down south. My plan is to make my money here and buy a place down south. Good for you. Brother Steve Arlo is in the house. They don't ever apologize to the Nightbot. I would kick that Nightbot away if I could. Yeah, didn't like that. Oh, is that what you did? All thumbs up? That's funny. Sorry. My Nightbot, kind of funky. Roger deserves more thumbs up. Yeah, look, I try. I'll tell you what, we got over 50 people in here right now. Everybody put in where you live, like city and state, like Dallas, Texas, and what you do. Because I have a lot of people in here, and there's always people that are either wanting to move somewhere else, wanting to go somewhere else, thinking about another job. It's kind of nice to look in here and see people of where they're from and figure out where you could possibly build good connections in here. I like that. Jonathan Roberts says everybody should click the like button and subscribe for him. Man, if you're not in here, man, come on, subscribe. Give me a like. Science Man 96 games says water heater rocket can be done for science. Hey man, I can do a whole lot of things for science. Ron Level says you used your slow-mo cam when drilling those pipes in your emergency repair vid. Loved it. I did. We've done some. Matter of fact, Colton's working on another one right now. We've done some slow-mo stuff with the Milwaukee M18 pipe threader. Love that thing. We're having a lot of fun with that. Yes, Colton, you are right. Rich says he has not noticed the slow-mo camera. It does look amazing. Got that one. Christina Weber says, hi, I like your vids. Number one, thank you very much. Right, guys, yeah, look, Germany, Humble, Texas, California. Well, we got people from all over the world here. Do me a favor. If you are in here, please put it in there. Where you're from, what you do. God, if you want to, tell me why you do it. Very interesting. Tomas for a fan says greetings from Warsaw. Look, like I said, we got people from everywhere. Welcome from Warsaw. Aaron Barea says, when I turn on the bathroom faucet, when a banging sound comes from the wall, could this be a water hammer? It probably is a water hammer. Now, if you turn it on, does it continuously bang? Does it just bang once? And does it do it when you turn it off too, or just when you turn it on? And when you turn it on, does it just like do it one time, or what's it do? Jonathan McReynolds says, "Hey Roger, have you ever heard of Skills USA?" I actually have. Yeah, actually I have. Good organization. I think that they're going to do good things. Abdul Kayumi says, "Hey Roger, could I ever meet you or talk to you? I'm a big fan." Depends on where you're at. I travel around the country a lot, and I'm going to start putting a deal on. I'm going to start creating an events calendar on my webpage. If y'all have not seen my page, let's see if I can find it here. I know the quiet noise is just killing me. Okay, so here's the page here. I'm gonna do this and this. Come way over here and see if it'll let me do this and that. So it did. I gotta go way back up to wherever my comment was. Uh, there we go. So there's a link to my website. Y'all go over and check this out. Let me know what you think about what I'm going to be doing is putting stuff in here to let people know where I'm at. I speak at events all around the country. I live here in Dallas, Texas, or live just outside of Dallas, Texas. So, yeah. And I love meeting people, so love it. Sky Husky 777 says, my company pays us off commission, and any plumber that rips any customer off will be terminated on the spot. I love that. Dave Smith says, not sure you can say turd on here. Well, I know the Nightbot says tuber turd, which, as far as I'm concerned, is what all y'all are. I love that. I hope y'all do too. Uh, Jonathan Roberts says he saw a broken water here. I've seen those before. Aaron is a water hammer. I bet says Jonathan, you are the missing link. Goodbye. Man, my Nightbot has huevos. I'm just saying. Jacob Huerta says, replying to Cisco Javier Franco, watch his videos on the tube. I love that. Thank y'all very much. Jonathan Roberts says, okay. Just checking, just making sure. Jonathan McReynolds says, hey, Roger, have you ever heard of Skills USA? I'm a second year plumbing student going to compete in the state competition for Skills USA for plumbing. So, Jonathan, let me ask you, where is the state competition? I have heard of Skills USA. I know they're doing good things. I believe I've actually been interviewed on their podcast. Look, any time, and I've got somebody messaging me about this right now. And Baron says, Guitar says, 15-minute wait to get a question answered. Interesting. There's that many people ahead of you. I'm sorry. I need to start doing the deal where I've got the form set up where people that really have serious questions can jump over and ask them. I try to go through and read everybody's comments, so it does. It gets me behind. And it shouldn't be that bad. I'm only about maybe 15 minutes, 14 minutes behind. Right? I will catch up. Delky and Alex says, good evening. I have one problem. A couple of times a week, my toilet gets clogged. We call a plumber. He makes the job after 3 to 4 hours. The problem reappears. And I would get a closet auger. I'd ask him if he's running a camera down it, find out what the problem is, because I wouldn't want him coming back that often. Rich does boilers too, and that is mostly plumbing. Viking Caliber says, what would you do to prevent urine crystals from forming in the sewer line? Man, don't put a urinal on it. That's normally the biggest place you have the problems, but there's really not a lot you can do to stop it. Steve Arloa, did he pull the toilet or just auger it? Completely agree. Yeah, Steve said. Yeah, Becky and Alex. Becky and Alex. Mike Calvert says, my Legion sewer line keeps backing up every 3 months. And there's something clogging it up in there. James Tracy says, hey, Roger, hope you're having a good day. I have good days every day. Special Skills 124 says, do unions sponsor people to get green cards? No. The union's not going to help you with anything at all like that. Sorry. There you go. Jonathan Roberts says, this channel is one of the best plumbing channels I know. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You wouldn't think so with 50-something people in here. I've got 37 likes. So I'm doing something wrong. Amen. Augers it, the problem is gone after 1 or 2 days. Problem reappears. Bad grammar. I would ask him to run a camera in. No, your grammar's fine. I can get you. I would ask him to run a camera in from the vent above, from the roof or wherever. It sounds like you've probably got roots in there. He's just unclogging, breaking something up, and it's going away. Don't forget to hit the like button. Sharkbite Hater, I'm proud of this. Ethan Mitchell said, what's your opinion on the PEX clamp rings over crimp rings? Number one, if you're going to use PEX, my opinion is upsize your system. That way you don't create a water restriction, a flow restriction. I think the crimp rings are great because they're stainless steel. Most of the crimp rings are not. If you are using stainless steel, man, I think you're going to be good. It is what it is. Rain Medic says, Roger, can you lose your plumbing license in Texas for back taxes like Massachusetts? Yes. You don't lose your license. If you are due a refund, they make sure you don't get it. I don't remember, and maybe it is. Maybe you've got to get caught up before you renew your license. There's some way they got it all tied together. Rich says, do you pull permits for water heater jobs? I do. Yeah, and it's funny because whenever I go to continuing education, I mention that, and there's a lot of companies out there that don't do it, and they're like, why would you do that? Like, man, because I don't ever want to get busted or in trouble or anything like that, but that's me. David Smith says John Guest Speed Fit is big in the UK, not elite. That's good. Thomas Comstock says, Roger, what is your opinion on owning your own trucks or leasing your own trucks? Or is there another option out there as a business owner? We have 5 to 6 now, but plan to grow large. Tell me what you do now, Thomas, and I'm not sure that I'll see it over here. But here's my thing. You're saying owning or leasing. I love the lease program. That's what we did. What we ran into, whenever I first opened my company, I was buying the trucks I could afford, older trucks, because I needed 2, then I needed another one, then I needed another one. And at the time, I couldn't afford new trucks. Because of some organizations I'm involved with, I got introduced to leasing at a discounted rate, and I really did enjoy it. So we started leasing, and I tell you what, I loved it. My guys loved it. It was good for our brand. We had them vinyl wrapped, and I mean, they looked good. So it was a fantastic thing. James Barbosa says, "Hey Roger, what do you think about getting into the trades with 30-year-olds? Look, if you're 30, if that's what you mean, look, that's a perfect time. You're through playing around as a kid. You're ready to learn and grow. Man, and like if you're getting in the union, you can retire at 65 with a full pension. So it's not a bad deal." Abdul says, "Hey Roger, would you ever let an apprentice go for not catching on as quick as you want?" I would try to coach him first, and it would depend on how long has he been in. Is he trying to learn, or is he just saying he's trying to learn? There's enough stuff on YouTube. I think anybody can learn anything. It would have to be, I've let go of an apprentice for not learning and standing around on his phone playing Pokemon all day. And then when he says, well, look, I'm trying to learn. No, you're not. So it's hard to say. Good vibes, everybody. Everybody click the like and subscribe button. I love that too. Thomas says, Dave Smith, in UK, do you do soldering or brazing gas installations? I saw a few outside copper installations in the UK. They look like soldering. Very interesting. Steve Arloa says could have Q-tips or something blocking in the bottom of the toilet. Sounds like the toilet needs to be pulled and visually inspected from the bottom side where the toilet connects to the flange. You might be able to run a small camera down in there too without pulling it, but yeah, I mean, you got to do something. You don't want to be paying a plumber to come out every 3 or 4 days. Shane says, I'm 19. I've been a helper for almost a year now, straight out of high school. Any advice? Yeah, my advice number one, Shane, is if you've been at it almost a year, what do you think about it? Do you love it? Is this the right career for you? Are you going to be happy in it forever? And my question is, what got you into it right out of high school? Because I think that's great. My advice is never stop learning. And it does not matter how good you think you are, how big you think you are, how much knowledge you think you have, keep on learning. People laugh at me because I still study new tools, new materials, new techniques. I want to learn. So I think it's huge. Two says, why on every video you say stay till the end? Your videos aren't even that long. Well, they're not that long, but I always try to put something at the end that's special. And the reason that I do that is that YouTube algorithm wants to know, do people stay and watch all the way through? So you always want to put something good at the end to make it worth people to hang around for. Decky and Alex says, Germany right here. Good to have y'all in here. Rich Mackay's in New York. James Barbosa, New York City Junior Estimator. We got West Virginia, Humboldt, Texas. California, local numbers 38. Scranton, Pennsylvania, service technician in the house. Christian Weber from Buffalo, New York. Caesar Moore, HVAC Tech in Corpus Christi, Texas. Matthew H., Buffalo, New York, residential plumbing and camera technician. Viking Caliber in Calgary, Canada, 4th year plumbing course next month. And I like the way y'all got your plumbing set up in uni or whatever y'all call it up there. It is pretty cool. Thomas Comstock, Virginia Residential Service Company, Richmond, Virginia. Very busy. Yeah, everybody in the trades is busy right now. That's a good thing. Dan Fittens, Little Rock, Arkansas, currently driving for FedEx, studying for your master's in plumbing. Good for you. Henry Side, Michigan, foreman. Steve Arloa, Shane Floyd, keep going. Don't give up. Started right out of high school at 28 years old in Michigan. Now live in Hawaii. Own your own plumbing company. Keep learning and ask questions. JJ Wendell says Jonesboro, Indiana. Union pipe fitter, Wisdom Plumbing. Good for you. Mark Wright, Central Illinois, Commercial Residential Service. Dave Smith says Thomas Fury found soldered on gas or threaded steel pipe. Soldered on gas or threaded. Okay. Soldered or threaded steel pipe. Becky and Alexis German have the most profit installation. What I saw, the most profi installation. I worked in Hamburg for half a year and love your work culture. Big Ken says maintenance tech in New Jersey. All right, here's a good one. Baron Guitar says, what advice would you give your younger self? I'll tell you what, and this is good, because I would have told my younger self to never stop learning. Here's what happens to a lot of tradespeople, and I want you to listen to this and learn this. Most tradespeople, we get into the trade to be a plumber, to be an electrician, to be an HVAC tech. Once we get that license in our pocket, and we decide, hey, I'm a plumber, we normally stop learning. Most of us do. And look, I know this from being in the union. I know this from watching and working with plumbers for years. But most people decide, I'm good. I'm a plumber now. Here's what we do, guys. We set the bar so low and we hit it that we don't know what else to do. So we stop learning, we stop growing. So what I will tell you, if I were giving advice to my younger self, I would say never stop learning. Never. There's new materials, new techniques, new equipment. There's new stuff in plumbing every day. And if you're like, look, I've studied all that, I get it. Now understand leadership. Now study that. Study leadership. Study management, construction management. Study communications. There is so much to keep learning that's going to improve you as a person, that's going to help you grow. And then if I was telling myself that, I'd hit myself as hard as I could in the nose just to say, you better remember this conversation forever, because I'm telling you, it's that big a deal. Jonathan says, could you make a video of natural gas pipe Q&A? I mean, we can talk gas one night. The bad thing is a lot of people don't do natural gas. A lot of plumbers don't in a lot of states, but it's a special license. Here in Texas, man, we do it all. Swag, sewer, water, and gas. We do it all. Shane Floyd says, thank you, Steve. Hope to own your own business one day. I love that. Caltex Plumbing. Moved from Cali, and the only trade I found to compete fairly was plumbing, electrical, or HVAC. Went with plumbing. Man, I don't disagree with you. That's why whenever I talk about the trades and I'm recruiting people into the trades, normally the ones that I tell people about are plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and roofing. Those, I think, are probably the highest paying. That's where you're going to have the easiest opportunity to get a job and also some of the best opportunities to start your own company. Nashua, New Hampshire keeps New Hampshire flowing. I like that. Hope you had a great Easter. I got to tell you, Ricky Neal, I had a fantastic Easter. Those of y'all that do what you do, man, I hope that y'all enjoyed your time off and got to spend time with your family. Jojo Clemens says, don't have much cash. What's the most cost-effective way to run water lines? Can I use PVC, or does it have to be metal lines like that currently installed? I don't have much experience, nor do I money, but I want to get it done right. So if I have to save more money, I will just wanted to ask what's the best solution for someone in my position. Long question, but Jojo, here's what I tell you is, what is legal in your area? Can you run PVC water lines in your area? PVC, PEX, stuff like that. That's probably going to be cheaper than copper. But also, what kind of water lines are we talking? Other lines under a house, in the yard to a house? A lot of things to know there. Ducky and Alex says, Thomas Fans Fury, thank you. That's true, but I'm not German. I just live here only. Serbian. There you go. Make sure I get it right. Sorry about that. Abdul Kumi says, I live in Sacramento, California. You should come out here. I'm wanting to actually come up to Sacramento and San Francisco just to see there. I've been to Southern California, so now I'm wanting to see North Side. Johnny Riviera says, has anyone ever worked for Roto-Rooter? Would you recommend starting here as an apprentice? I'll let y'all answer this one. I've never worked for Roto-Rooter. I've talked to people that have. The only problem I had with them is they wanted them to buy their own van. They're like, look, you got to buy your van. And I thought that was kind of tough, but I like the idea of them being set up as their own independent contractor, where it's their van, their equipment, their tools, their everything. Then when they're ready to go out on their own, it's all theirs. They're good. Or CrossFit. There you go. Steve Arloss, so Shane Floyd, you can keep learning. Ask questions. Always be honest. Treat every job as if it were your house or your parents' house. Well, Steve, I love that because we always tell our guys, people ask me all the time, look, I don't know what to do here. It's like, well, if it was your mother's house or your grandmother's house, what would you do? And I mean, I want each and one of y'all to think about that. If you're working on a job and you come up with something and you're like, well, I could do it this way or I would do it this way, which would you do? And I met a plumber in Miami. I was at an event, we were talking, and he asked me, he says, hey man, look, I know you're always dissing shark bites. He says, but I want to know why. And I said, well, we've really fixed a lot of leaks. We fixed a bunch of them. And he said, yeah, but he said, Roger, there's some people that can't afford to get it done right. And I said, okay, I don't disagree with that. I said, but let me ask you a question then. Instead of using a coupling and soldering it and doing it right, would you just cut a piece of garden hose, put it between two pieces of pipe, and use use hose clamps to seal it off? And he said, no. I said, well, why not? He said, well, number one, it's not going to hold forever. It's going to leak. You're going to have problems. I said, that's the same things I have with shark bite. So we've fixed too many leaks. We've seen it. We see it all the time. And he says, yeah, but man, when somebody can't afford it, what do? You're going to turn down that money? I said, absolutely. I'm going to tell them, if you want to use this, you can go to the store and get them. I don't even carry them on my truck. But here's one thing that I asked him that made him change the way he thought about it. Because I said, let me ask you this. Would you install them at your mother's house or your grandmother's house? And he said, no. I said, why not? And he just stopped and he looked at me and said, okay, you know what? You made your point. I said, you wouldn't do it because it's not the right way to fix it, is it? He said, no, it's really not. Look, if shark bites never leaked, I'd be saying, guys, this is the second coming of Jesus. This is the best thing since sliced bread. But guys, they do leak. And we fix a lot of them. So I know it. And I don't know if it's operator error on the install, if it's a bad product, but because there's an O-ring there that you put one little nick in it, it's going to leak. I don't know what the problem is. If y'all put shark bite in, do me a favor and just put in yes. If you put them in, let me know because I want you to tell me why. And would you put them in your mother's house, in your grandmother's house? So it was a neat conversation. I'm just trying to see where I'm at, and I was trying to get faster, and I think I got slower behind. All right, I'm going to speed run it here for a little bit just to try to get closer to the front. Rick says Kingsland, Georgia, 15-minute wait. I know. See, I just saw that. I'm trying. Dave Smith, but did you ask a question even? We had that. Wait, where'd it go? Baron Guitar. I don't remember if you asked one or not. Dave Smith says, last warning, not bite. I know. No more turds. Dude, I like that. There you go. Jonathan says, are you a real person? No. Steve says, Johnny River, I worked for them in the past. Personal opinion is that they will teach you how to be a salesman, not so much plumbing, just his personal opinion. But here's one thing that's good about that. A lot of plumbers we hire today, we have to teach to be salesmen. And it's not really to be a salesman, but it's to understand, do you know how to communicate with people? And a lot of them can't. Dex Evil says, what's your favorite sport and sports team? College football. I'm a Texas Longhorn fan. If you can't tell by the 1972 football signed by Darrell Royal and Roosevelt Leaks. And the top one is cap signed by Earl Campbell himself. And I got it done at his place in Austin. Joey Clemens says, what's the most cost-effective way to run water lines? Talked about that a while ago. Joey says, I will wait, but just want it done right. I get it. Ragatar, thank you very much. Man, I'm trying, I promise. I know, guys, there's so many questions coming in nowadays that it takes longer. We get more people in here. I love that. It does. It takes me longer, but I'm trying. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scroll through here, and I like this because Steve Arloa did it. If I see you commenting to somebody else, I'm just going to go to the next one. I'm going to try to get to questions and comments, but I'm not going to read every comment people are making in between each other and see if that speeds it up any. Jonathan Roberts says, great job, Robert. Thank you very much. Lorenzo says, are electric hybrid heat pump water heaters worth it? I live in a cold climate environment. Here's something I'll tell you. Just because you live in a cold environment doesn't mean there's not heat in the air. And I know that sounds strange, but it is true. I would do the research in your area, or if you're looking at a company installing it, ask them to do the research for you. Say, show me the proof. Show me why this is worth the installation. Go there. Jonathan says, not always. Brandon says, hey, Roger, plumber from Oklahoma City here. Love your channel. I've learned a ton from you. Thank you, and please don't stop. Number one, I'm not going to stop. Brandon, do you go eat at Nick's Grill? Because I think that is one of the best burgers in Texas. Between that one in Oklahoma City and Mud Bones in Bonham, Texas, I think those are probably two of the best burgers I've ever had in my life. Miss Sharon Quarles says, hey, Roger, we just purchased an older home built in 1940 in Arizona. We have excellent water pressure at outside faucets, but very low pressure inside. Can you help us? There may be a pressure reducing valve installed like in the wall, meaning it may come in and go to a valve. It could catch hose bibs outside first. Try putting a pressure gauge on your angle stops on different things throughout the house to see if you've really got a pressure problem or a flow problem. This may be one of the things where they ran everything in PEX fittings. So every time it goes through a fitting, it reduces size, it reduces size, it reduces size. Meaning it goes to a big pipe, then reduces, big pipe, then reduces, big pipe, then reduces. What happens is this. You end up thinking you get to the shower at the far end of the line and you turn it on. It's reduced it so much it won't come out good. Sorry, but and let me ask you, Sharon, how old is the house? Joey says drain medic. Okay, sorry about that. Sam Ham, I watched your hack trick videos today on melting PVC together or fixing the copper with a hole in it. In both circumstances, I think they're high risk, low reward for most homeowners. And look, Sam, I'm not disagreeing. If you go back and read that, here's the thing. This is to try to get them through an emergency. And even a plumber. If you go out to somebody's house on the weekend and the supply house isn't open and you don't have parts, it's like, look, I can do this to get you through today to where you can still have your water on. The high risk I don't necessarily see. You're going to cut that out and change it anyway. But I think it's something that could possibly fix it to where they can leave their water on. Biker 932012 says just replace the top part of my tub drain when I noticed the crossbar was completely missing. How often do I need to check or replace that part of the drain to prevent that from happening? If you'll just keep an eye on it, like if you've got a lift and turn in there that's attached to it, or you've got the one you just step on it seals it, clicks it, and it unlocks it. You shouldn't have to check it often, but as long as you got those two on it, you're going to know when that thing's rotted out, it's going to disappear. Thomas, somebody else, Jonathan says, could you talk about pipe forming or bending iron or copper pipe? We don't bend a lot of iron pipe. Matter of fact, I've never seen that done. But my son used to bend a lot of stainless steel tubing for Texas Instruments, industrial type work. Me, man, I've been a little bit of copper. That's it. I think I did a video a while back of 10 tools that a lot of plumbers could really use that would improve the quality of their work. And that's one where you can bend tube and make it look pretty. I think it's a cool deal. I just don't do a lot of it. Sam Ham says bought a used truck at an auction. Was a prior U-Haul truck with 12,000 miles. Look into that option. And that's how I started out. XTC Lab inside your crossway. See, I'm wanting to put a grow house up in my attic. Not really, but it sounded funny. Caltex Plumbing says, Roger, how do I register the hours of my apprentice with the board? Just trying to help him out to get his next license so he can make more money. There's a form. It's probably their apprentice application form where you have to sign and document that hours. Sharon says, if using water in the kitchen, cannot use a bath or laundry or any room and none other, no matter what. Yeah. Well, Sharon, where are you located? I truthfully think, number one, I'd love for you to take a video of that and put it on our subreddit at Roger Wakefield Post, because I would like to show people why. But I mean, I'd be interested to find out where you're located and maybe even like take pictures of your water heater install. We can see what kind of fittings they used. Is it PEX? Is it copper? Is it what? And then you can also see if you've got a shutoff valve or a PRV, pressure reducing valve. Anywhere out like in your yard, do you have a valve box with stuff like that in it? And this is in Chicago. At Kingston, Wisconsin, Ron Lovell, water heater and furnace both broke down this weekend. Still waiting for HVAC. Man, sorry for you, brother. Hope it's not too cold where you're at. Thomas Comstock says, we own our truck now. Just cheap. That's what we can afford. That's the way I started out, brother. That's it. Serious says he can't hear the music. Can y'all hear the music? I'm looking over at the live stream. Just put yes or no. Can you hear the music? And I'm going to bump it up just a hair because I'm showing that it's still playing. Can you hear the music? I like this right on each other. Any advice on how to increase chances to get into UA Local 1? Man, you know what? I'm going to tell you, it's hard. Okay, so y'all can't hear the music. Okay, so let me turn this one off. Let me go back here. And Sean Strong hates this one. I'll tell you already. Tell me if y'all can hear that, if you like it. Okay, so there was a barely there, so maybe the music was just turned down too much. Look, getting into Local 1's hard. I think that's probably one of the best locals in the United States. I think that their instructors are phenomenal, and it's because of their training coordinator. I know, man. The one, yeah, I know. Look, it's going to be hard. I think that at one time I heard they had 600 applicants a year and only 35 people get in. So, man, all I'll say is good luck, but don't give up. Keep trying. I think it'll be worth it. Sean says if your question doesn't get answered, the Discord and the subreddit are great places to get help. You can share pictures and videos, and that helps you get the answers. Ethan says, Roger, been plumbing for a couple of years now, just got a truck. Any tips or advice for someone going out on their own for the first time? Figure out how to make your phone ring. And I've learned to do it through social media, so it's the best that I can tell you. Okay, so y'all can still barely hear that. So I'm going to go back to this one. I'm going to bump it up just a little bit just to see. And if y'all tell me that's too loud, I'll turn it down. But can y'all hear it now? Sean Strong, there are the links to the subreddit and the Discord. Dexter Bernard says, as long as we're alive, we never stop learning. And Dexter, I'm going to tell you, for the most part, you're right. For the most part, you're right. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the trades that literally they get into the trades and they stop. They think, look, I'm a plumber now. I'm not doing anything else. Okay, so Caltex, we can hear the music. Man, we can't stop learning. My state does not have an HVAC license. And some states don't even have a plumbing license. So it's kind of crazy. Rich says, or county. Replying to Joe Clemens, yeah. Oh, it's got to be CPVC. In some areas, yes. Sam Ham says, we retrieve dentures from a stop toilet full to the brim in fecal matter. They wash them, pop them in the mouth, nearly set my lunch back. Yeah. Would you put them in your mouth? No. And like I said, it depends on how much they've cost. I might be able to boil them. I might be able to bleach them. I might be able to do a lot of things, but I still have to think about it. Jonathan, I'm not a good copper tubing bender. I might do some homework on it because I've studied it through the union. So I'll just take a look at it. Thomas says, yes, please talk gas, tips, tricks, codes. Very interested in it and getting your gas fitters here in Virginia, master in Virginia, Maryland, and the WSSC. And man, I'm this far in, so I probably can't talk about a lot about it now. But here's the deal. Here in Texas, it's just like, I mean, think about this, guys. Down here, residential gas in the house is at about 2 ounces of pressure. If you can't screw together pipe and use things like Teflon tape and pipe dope and not make it leak, there's a problem. And I'm not, Thomas, I'm not saying you, but I know a lot of plumbers that are afraid of it. And it's like, guys, look, we put together water lines that hold 60, 80, 100 pounds of pressure. And we're worried about a gas line that holds ounces. If you screw it together and you test it, I mean, think about it. That's what we do. I don't know if that video's out yet. Maybe the one coming out. I just did a video using my Milwaukee little pony threader. M18 fuel. Love it. Guys, we do that all day, every day. We put screw pipe in houses, in buildings, in office buildings, and we don't have a problem. The thing is, test everything you do. It is such a wonderful feeling to know that you've done that and you step back and look at it. So it really is pretty cool. All right, local 110 representing. If I take a huge dump and it doesn't flush, how can you clean the plunger? Hot water. Sandeep Singh says, list of countries where Red Seal is certified. I think Canada. Caltech says you just hit the nail in the head, never stop learning. Any suggestions on any courses on learning the trade management? It depends. I would contact PHCC. I would contact ABC. Man, if you're in the union, the United Association has a great training program, the UA University. So, I mean, it's out there. You've just got to want to find it and learn it. But construction management for people skills, leadership, sign or sales training, communication skills, those are the kind of things we need to learn. Steve Arloa says he celebrated Easter yesterday along with his birthday. Number one, happy birthday, brother. Finished my day with doing my first live stream. it for 3 hours and 33 minutes. Boom. Fantastic. Jonathan Rogers. Let me see if I can jump over here. I want to see something real quick. All right, so I just jumped over to Steve Arloa's channel and subscribed. If y'all have not done that, do that. I don't know why, Steve. I thought that I was already a subscriber. So I will go through and check out your live streams. First live stream for 500 subs. I love that. You're at 758. So wait a minute. Did you just hit 500 yesterday and do it, or did you wait a little while to make sure you were ready? I like that. You have a new subscriber, brother. All right. Victor Jimenez says, why does the North pay better than the South for plumbing? And it's not just the South. It's the North. It's California. It's Chicago. There's certain places, and I don't know. Man, we're short plumbers. I'm telling y'all, start recruiting people into the trades now, because I think in the next 5 years, plumbers are making $100 an hour on the check, and I really do. Triangle Plumbing Services is integrity. That's what it's all about. That is the number one rule. Zaid Chrisat says, I follow you from Jordan Amman. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Cost of living. Yeah, I think it's got to be more than that. And that may be a big part of it. But, man. Rich, I'm going to have to check those out. I like this. Casey Houston. Shark bite yesterday. Couldn't spell plumber today. IR1. I love it. What's your opinion? Shark bite PEX B tubing. Hey, look, my thing is, and I love the Uponor. I love any expansion fitting or any expansion tubing, because your fittings are going to be bigger. If you've got to crimp it, if you got to do stuff like that, and I say crimp, if you got to put a crimp ring on it, if you got to put a clamp on it, it's a smaller fitting. You're creating a flow restriction, and that's the problem we were looking at in here a while ago. I don't like that. Yeah, if you wouldn't install them at your mother's house, why would you install them anywhere else? Hey, it's a great rule of thumb to live by, brother. Rich says, I would put them in just as long as it's not going behind the wall. And see, I wouldn't do that. That's just me. Austin Ford says, only ever use shark bite fittings when the customer cannot afford the cost of a permanent fix and the customer is knowing all and well that the shark bites are temporary. But here's the deal, Austin. Here's where my only problem is with that. If you put it in and you tell them, hey, look, this is temporary. I need to come back and fix it. As soon as you leave, they're going to be like, I don't need you to come back. The leak is fixed. It's done. Then if it leaks later, they're going to turn around and say it's your fault because you put that fitting in. It doesn't matter what you told them. What matters is you put it in and you left and it was fixed and now it leaked and caused some problems. I'm just telling you, you got to be very, very careful. Jonathan says, what is the most painful pipe fitting? I'm sure there's a joke in it here somewhere. Jonathan says, looking to become an apprentice, do I need prior schooling or knowledge? If you're trying to become an apprentice, everybody started out not knowing how to be. We knew nothing. Some of us just learned it and moved up from there. Carlos Perez, plumber out of Aledo, Texas. Does your YouTube channel bring you a lot of customers? It does. That's why I teach residential service providers how to do YouTube to grow their business. It's been phenomenal for me. Sean Strong says you're always selling something, a product, a service, or yourself. I need people to buy into me and trust what I'm telling them. You guys, that is one of the best ways to put it there, Sean, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna give you a gold star. What that does, it actually pins that up to the top. But you are always selling something, and y'all have got to understand this. And people say, I don't want to get into plumbing because I don't want to do sales. And if you can't sell people on the fact that you're good at what you do, that you understand what you do, and then that what you recommend because it needs to be done, and you want to give people options. Look, this is how we fix the problem. This is the emergency repair. This is how we get your system back to where it was when it was built. This this is what we can do to upgrade your system to where it should be nowadays. And give them those options. And they may say, look, I can only afford this fix. But even to me, guys, that fix is not SharkBot. That fix is, until a better push together fitting comes along, that fix is doing it right. And it may mean soldering. It may mean open up the wall and repiping something. There could be a lot of different things there, but guys, at the end of the day, it's doing the job right. You are fixing it the right way. You're not telling them, hey, I can do this temporary fix. It's going to last you a day or so. Once you walk away from that job and they see it's not leaking, they're like, hey, we're good. Don't call him back. He just wants to make more money. And I'm telling you guys, that happens all the time. Ron Lovell says shark bites absolutely do fail. In cold climates, they pop off easy when frozen. So here in Canada, a lot of insurance companies won't cover the damage. Boom. The plumber. Steve Johnson says, as a homeowner, what books or references should I be using to do the job properly? There are no plumbers in my county, so it's on me to fix things here. Number one, Steve, I hope you're subscribed to the channel. This is why I started doing what I did, to teach people how to fix their plumbing. Absolutely, and I'll even hit on that. Very well said. Casey says I need to live there. Brass or plastic? I love brass fittings. That's me. Agreed. Hello from San Jose, California. Local 110 here. Where are you at? I'm right here. Can y'all see me? Hello? Can y'all see me here? No, I'm joking. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Actually, I'm in Richardson, Texas, just northeast of Dallas. And sometimes I got an attitude. Steve Johnson says rural Alabama. Got an Aloha in the house. Would you ever hire a 400-pound apprentice? It depends. It depends. Like if I'm a commercial plumbing company, absolutely. As long as he can climb up and down ladders, as long as he can move around on the floor and get things done, man, I've seen 400-pound plumbers, so I know they can work. It'll be hard to get under a sink and a crawl space in an attic. And that's going to be the only thing about being like a service plumber is we never know where we're going to need to send you, so that could be tough. ProPress. I like ProPress. I think ProPress works. Adokumi says, yeah, why not? If he's willing to work and to learn. And then we got some no's in here too. Not now. And here's the thing, you guys, you got to remember, we're each looking at what our needs are at the position and time we're at. Right now, I'm at a residential service plumbing company. A 400-pound apprentice is probably not going to be able to do most of the things that I need done, and that's going to limit him. Caltech says no, barely. Oh, barely hear the music. There we go. Local 110. I know I've heard that a lot. Big Ken says I can hear the music. Plenty of work here at 110. Caltech says yes to the music. Some people who don't, does ProPress make professionals lazy? Guys, there's a lot of things that are coming to our trade that are going to make us lazy, including push together fittings. Y'all heard me talk about I don't like SharkBite, but I've also said one day there's going to be a push together fitting come along that works, and it works every time, and you're not going to have a problem with it. So, as somebody in here a while ago said, look, they don't even allow them in Canada. The insurance company's like, you use SharkBite, we're not covering it. Well, if you're the plumber that installed that SharkBite and they don't cover it, who do you think they're going to sue? It's going to be the plumber, and be like, well, you put it in, clearly doesn't work, the insurance company won't cover it. Guys, stand up for what you think's right and do what's right. I'm just trying to help you here. Rich says, I agree with you about the gas. Thank you. John says, not afraid of gas lines, just don't enjoy it. I like building in PVC. How long does this go? Man, we're almost over. We normally go from 4 to 5:30 Central Standard Time each and every Monday. We've looked at possibly changing the days. We've looked at possibly changing the weekends. And we've looked at a lot of things. We're still having fun. Rich says, I like progress with the time savings. Tell a joke. I don't got jokes. Just play the game. 3 number 1, just turned 20, have recently got my tradesman license. Looks thing plumbing. Can't wait for the years to come. If that means you're loving plumbing, good for you. It's a great trade. Alex Cordova says, I'm a plumber here in Amarillo, Texas, working on getting my journeyman license. Good for you. Wah, wah, wah. Thank you, Roger Wakefield. Appreciate that. Hit 500 last Sunday. Man, you hit 500 last Sunday and you're already over 700. Brother, congratulations. Like I said, look, there you get Steve Arloa. You see his name right there on the screen. Check it out. Matter of fact, if you'll hit the 3 dots over to the right, if you go like right to his comment, go to the 3 dots on the right, click on it, you'll get choices right there. You can hit report. You can hit all kinds of bad things. Actually, hit go to channel. Jump over there, subscribe to his channel, tell him hello. I don't do jokes. Thank you. Got that one. Thank you. Okay. Jonathan, about had enough there. Abdul says, hey, Roger, in San Francisco, the Plumbers Union, I heard from the director over there, plumber make over 80 an hour on the check. I'm telling you, $100 an hour on the check within 5 years. Sean Strong, how long have I been saying it? Steve, guys, it's going to happen. Oversized PEX B system, okay. I think anytime you install a PEX press system, you need to oversize it. Sean Strong says, most painful fitting is anything brass or galvanized. Take one of those in the head and it's a bad day. Isn't that the truth? Jonathan says, my neighbor installed a saddle valve and it flooded their crawl space. Could you have a series where you expose pipe fittings and valves that are not up to code? Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yes. Yes. Matter of fact, I'm going to take my picture. I'll take my camera and I'm going to take a picture. So I know that I remember that because I do. I like that idea. I think we've talked about it before, done it before. But yes, that's a good one. Jonathan, thank you very much. Philip Brown says not possible. Sean Strong says no, getting better. Here we go. Ian Growcut says I'm in a high school construction class. Got my OSHA 10 card and I love it. Working fast food, but thinking of leaving to be a laborer. Well, I have a better chance of getting to a union by working there. The truth is, I'm going to tell you, Ian, I started out as a laborer. I worked on an apartment complex on the weekends, cleaning it up. Meaning, if there was wood out, I'd stack it up. If there were wood scraps, I'd throw them in the trash. I swept floors. I did a lot on the construction job site. I think that helped me get my first plumbing job because I was able to tell them, hey, look, I've worked on a job site before. So I do think that can help you out. And I love the fact that you're taking this in high school. Here in Texas, they just changed the laws where you can go to high school and you can actually take plumbing courses and get credit towards your apprentice license. So I think that's great. DeMad says, do you really think the pay will go up for futures? Yeah. For future plumbers, since there's a shortage, guys, it's going to have to. I mean, think about it. If I need 50 plumbers to run a company and I can only get 40, I'm going to start looking at other plumbers, but I'm also going to need to pay mine more so they don't leave and go somewhere else. I think it's going up. To spin down water filters work well. Have a little black specks in water main that I want to remove. I don't want to get into water filters because, look, my favorite water heater, the company has the worst customer service I've ever heard of. And I refuse to talk about them. Because I'm not going to say anything good. The guy came in and it was a jerk to my office people, to my marketing team. Came in and talked crap to Amber. And I'm telling you, I will refuse to sell his product. And the bad thing is, I think he's got a good product. I think he sucks. And I just refuse to work with people like that. So, spin down. I don't know what you mean by spin down. I don't know. I've never studied water heaters that in depth. I've looked at filter. I've looked at catalytic carbon. I've looked at so many different filtration systems until I found the right one. Now I've got to do it all again. So right now I don't know, but I will tell you, Steve, a good water filter system is amazing. Autumn Rain says, "Hey Roger, recently was hired by a company that constantly berated me for lack of knowledge about plumbing, despite me being a first semester apprentice. They also refused to teach me." Yeah, and number one, I hate that. Autumn Rain, what I'll tell you is, first of all, uh, we hire green apprentices so we can teach them. And companies that just berate people like that or talk to them about being stupid, they blow my mind. Because to me, at the end of the day, look, it's our job to educate them. I would say watch every video I've got, and not just me, other plumbers. Start learning that way. And I don't know if you're still there or not. It may be time to look for another place. But I'd say the way you beat people like that is you educate yourself, learn more than they know. And trust me, if they're treating you that way, they probably don't know near as much as they think. Rose, hello. How are you? Good to see you in here. Lorenzo Criscuolo says, "What do you think of Vega monoblocks? Are they copper-made manifolds or copper-made manifolds better?" Well, I think as long as they're protected from the temperature, I don't think you're going to have any problem with either one of them. I used to love the idea of a central manifold system. I still think it's a good idea. You just got to figure out how to get it in a central spot where it's accessible. I love the idea of being able to valve off anything from there. I mean, if you have a drip on a faucet, you shut that off. You don't have to shut and drain on the whole house. I think there's a lot of good stuff to it. Jim Wilson says, "How do you fix a hack that's set in their ways without being mean?" I don't know, Jim, are you talking about me? I'm joking. You know, I think you ask people, ask them what they're supposed to be doing. So I've got a question. How are you supposed to be teaching, or how are you supposed to be doing it? And when they tell you, then say, "Okay, so tell me, what are you doing?" And I think it's a good way to act. You don't ever want to point things out to them. Hey, you're teaching this way, and here's how you're supposed to. Or here's how you're doing this, and here's how you're supposed to. You ask them, "Hey, how do you do this?" And then come back and say, "Okay, what do you think the right way is to do that?" And if they're smart and honest, they're going to tell you the right way. And then you say, "Well, okay, then why are we doing it this way?" And it's worth looking at. Never knew a brass fitting is a projectile, but I feel so bad for you. It must have hurt. Like, if you get hit by one, you're going to know it. You can catch Roger on LinkedIn Live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central. Yes, you can. Autumn Rain says, "They make prevailing wage, but tell me to go do something without ever actually showing me or taking the time to explain what to do." Journeyman also has, yeah, see hell tattooed on him, and I'm a minority. Yeah, you know, I'd go above his head. Go to the superintendent and say, "Look, I got a question. How am I supposed to learn here if people aren't going to teach me?" And ask. Bruce Lane says, "How are you, Roger? HVAC apprentice here. Enjoy your videos. Thank you very much." So, as an HVAC apprentice, what do you learn here? Do you learn stuff that you think will help make you better? And I hope you do. Yeah, Sean says that you've been saying $100 an hour as long as you've known me. That's been about 4 or 5 years now. It's been 3 or 4. I'm telling you, guys, it's coming. It is coming. Tanner Drexier says, "I'm a service plumber in Louisville, Kentucky, and within the past 2 weeks had 2 customers cry about the job. It's rough being the bearer of bad news. Any similar experiences?" Absolutely. Number one, the thing I'm going to tell you, Tanner, is, and I've used to have plumbers that would come and say, "Look, I can't handle this." And you say, "Look, did we create this problem?" And the answer is no. Then you say, "Okay, are we going to give them the best opportunity to fix it the right way?" And man, I can luckily say for my company, the answer was always yes. So you've got to look at what can you do to help them. Is it financing? Is it doing it the right way? Can you do part of it now, part of it later? And always try to give them the best options you can. Jonathan Roberts says, "I went dumpster diving once, found 3 pounds of copper pipes." Was that a dumpster, or was that the trash can in the shop where people put scrap copper? Just asking. Abdul Kami says, Hey, Roger, have you or would you hit your employees with PEX pipe or any pipe to put them in check? No, I hadn't thought about that one yet. No, you're not supposed to hit employees at all. Sorry, I said that all wrong. No, I've never hit any employee. Maybe in times I wanted to, but no. Rosaline says, I do residential HVAC new construction. I've only been in it for a few months. Eventually, the plan is to switch over to service, but I enjoy it. Good for you. English Growcut says, want to be an electrician or a plumber, but my teacher says over time, my body will feel the consequences. Could I use my brain more as I work my way up the trades? Architect, plumbing engineer, foreman. Yeah, guys, that's the whole thing with learning and learning your way up. You start out as a tradesman, you move up to a journeyman, you move up to a master, you do things like that, but eventually you move up to a foreman, to a superintendent, where you don't work as much, as hard. That came out all wrong. You work as much, you work harder, but normally you work with your brain. You work with software, computers, pencils, stuff like that. Yeah. I'm about to catch up. Okay. I'm speed running again. Jonathan Roberts says, yeah. Autumn Rain says, appreciate the advice. Was hesitant to leave because of the money, but I don't see myself becoming a better plumber here. Thanks for the advice. Number one, talk to your supervisor first, your real supervisor, the senior superintendent, owner, whoever hired you, and figure it out. I'm never kidding. Cash Take 331. What up? Have you seen the new Navian water heaters? I have not. And that's not true. I have seen them. I have not used them. I've not installed them. Triangle Plumbing Services, what do you recommend to keep your residential service guys and gals trained and learning consistently? Videos, tools, website, hands-on, all the above. We do anything and everything we can. Videos are great. Product knowledge, training, people coming in and doing it are great. There's organizations that have great training as part of the organization. It's good. Almost been plumbing a year. I love that. Would you recommend an appliance strap on truck stop? Why or why not? Here in Texas, we don't have anything remotely similar to an earthquake, so we don't need them. As an apprentice plumber for commercial building, been learned a lot in the first 6 months. Good for you, Jacob. Congratulations. Aaron Wolf says, I'm trying to buy a plumbing company. So hard to find a good service call centered business with land for my SBA loan. Yeah, I don't know where you're located, but it's hard to find a small enough company that owns land. And when you get into the bigger companies, it's going to be a lot more expensive. Jonathan Roberts, leaky water heaters, we get called for pretty often. Carlos de la Torre says, in your opinion, how far can you take a boot CT coupling or just use a strong back instead? How far can you take a boot? If you're talking the shear band kind, look, that's the only kind that I'll use. I like that stainless steel backup on it. Hundreds to thousands. Leaky water heaters suck because the customers sometimes don't want the bad news. Completely agree. And guys, that's all we are. We're the very bad news, but we've got to be able to communicate. Just replaced one today. Just play game through number one. My number one pet peeve with the plumbing industry is lazy plumbers that pawn off jobs and still clock in the 8 hours. And man, they're out there. You just got to find a way to work around them and let other people see what they're doing. I had some guys come down from Boston and teach us. Good deal. Funniest YouTube plumber I've ever seen. Hope you do well, Roger. And guys, the funny thing is, I don't try to be funny. I'm just trying to be honest. Heat pumps for the Northeast region. Look, I think heat pumps are good for all of us everywhere. They're a green product. They're gonna help us save money, so it's good. There's a duplicate of what is posted above. Carlos Disatori, thank you for the super chat. When to use a boot versus when to use a strong back. And I'm not sure why you call it a strong back. I think it's what we call a shear band. It's the CT band, the boot, with the stainless steel band around it with 4 bands. I try to use those all the time. I'd rather have the extra support. I don't want everything to shift and move. So if that's what you mean, and I hope so, Carlos, if not, I'm sorry. I gotta hurry up, guys. It's time for me to go. Thank you. Jonathan Roberts says, I am actually a kid. Good for you. And look, I got through all of them. Man, I love that. Number one, guys, thank you for today. Happy Easter to everybody. Carlos, you are more than welcome. I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. I hope it's Monday. Hopefully it started out to be a great week. Jacob says, luckily my dad is a master plumber, teaches me a ton, but I love to see tricks and tips on here and see if he knows about them. That's pretty funny. Yeah, thank you to Steve. Thank you to Sean Strong. And thank you to everybody in here. Look, I get to do what I get to do because of y'all. If you haven't done it yet, please give me a thumbs up if you learned anything from this. If you feel like you need to give me a thumbs down, just hit the button twice. Says Roger, where are you going? I'm going home. I've got to talk business tonight. I've got to eat. I got to do all kinds of things. Phyllis Brown, you can find your outdoor clean out. It's not a drain. You can find your outdoor clean out, which is connected to the drain with a camera and a locator. So there's always a way to do it. Steve, thank you very much. Yeah, hit your like button on the way out. If you liked what you saw here today, please do. Please hit the like button. If you learned something here today and you haven't done it yet, please subscribe and ring the bell. Hopefully you got something good out of it. Guys, I am Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I love what I do, and I get to do it because of you. I'm Roger. I got all confused. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.